This is 3zinferno. So thanks everyone for all their support and all that. I did top 8 at YCS Long Beach and it was amazing. I fought a lot of hard duels. It was really good. I was sweating bullets like the whole time. I was X2, but I made it through. And so I'm here to talk to you guys today about, I have a lot of things to talk about really, but I'm going to talk about the event mostly. I'm going to break down the top 32 decks in my next video when when deck list comes out. But right now I'll just talk about a few things. There's a lot of people asking me. So first let's go over the prizes again. I got this mat right here. It's really nice. I didn't want to sell it at first, but I was just like, you know what? It's worth a lot. So I sold it on eBay for $5.50 and I'm going to ship it out tomorrow. Then I have this Blood Mephist again that my friend's probably going to pick up. I don't really know how much yet, but we'll talk about it. He's my close friend, so I'll probably let it go for like not too overpriced. And then if anyone's interested in these complete legendary collections, legendary collection and Order of Chaos, you let me know. I'm trying to get rid of it as a set, but if you guys really just want one or the other, you let me know. To prove it's authentic, I guess. If you really want me, I can autograph it or something like that. But anyway, that's just a spiel on that. That's just quick on that. Now, let's go over my deck choices. A lot of people wanted to know why I didn't run Tengu. Now, if Tengu was at 3, oh my gosh, no brainer. I would run Tengu immediately. But since it was at 2, it wasn't really that much of a plus. And granted, it's still a plus, but I declined to run it because I thought 18 monsters was enough. 14 monsters, and 4 hand traps. It was enough, except for the feature match where you guys saw me didn't draw any monsters, but it was enough. Some other deck choices that I chose, 8 fighter, if you guys don't know already, is broken. It's just funny to see that on eBay, 8 fighters have sold out. And the only 2 that are left are now going for $11 a piece. That's just really cool to me. So I got my first 8 fighter from JC, from my locals, and I bought it off him for $2, and I told him I'd make it really good. And he just sort of laughed, and he's just like, alright dude, I trust you. And then, bam, 8 fighter. So thanks JC for that. Quick shout out to Z-Trop. He did the filming for my video while I was doing the giving you guys a profile of it, so shout out to Z-Trop. And you know, there's just a lot of things to talk about with the deck, but I don't really want to go into too many specifics. I just did a lot of testing, and I really liked how I built this deck, like down to the card. So I really think that it was the best possible thing, like possible combination of cards that I could assemble. And that's why I brought it. If I didn't test it, I would not have brought it, guaranteed. So you guys know I definitely tested. Now let's just talk about, and one more thing, quick thank you to all you guys. Over 1,000 subs, thank goodness. Give a shout out quickly to Slim X Team Symmetry for all his support, he always tells people to subscribe to my videos and things. Also to Underworld 6667. He gave me a shout out. He on one of his videos about the YouTubers who are going to show up, he said I was going to be there. And a quick one, really quick one too, to Bio Enthusiast and Jarrell Winston. Bio Enthusiast included me in her video about the YouTuber panel, and Jarrell's always got my back. He always likes my decks and things like that. So here we go. Now I'm going to talk about my matches. The first round, I actually had a no-show. I wasn't really pleased about that. I waited that long and I wanted to play, and all of a sudden I got a no-show. I was just like, ugh. And then I didn't really know how the tiebreakers worked, but so I went up to ask Frank DeBrito, and no-shows actually don't hurt you or help you. They just don't do anything. So I was like, oh, that's fine. That's better than what I thought. And then round 2, I played Dark Worlds. Dark Worlds is a really good deck. You know now, it topped. It won, excuse me. So, I mean, Dark Worlds I played. I 2-0'd him. Then I played Heroes. I played Z-Trop. He even said we were supposed to play yesterday, the day before. And then he even said, oh, we're going to play next round. And I was just like, alright. And we did. And so, he said he wished it was closer, but, I mean, I did beat him. Round 4 I played Dark Worlds. That was a really close matchup. I got beat game 1 pretty bad, because he drew nuts, like pretty good. But I did end up beating him. Round 5 I played Heroes. He topped, was it that Heroes? Yeah, he topped 32'd as well. So that was a good match. I think he topped 32 or even 16. At least top 32. So shout outs to him too. The next round I played, round 6, was Rabbit. Game 1 he won, and then he thought about it and he was like, oh, you're probably gonna. He was one of the only people that even said to me he thought I was gonna sign into windups, and he was right. But I still beat him game 2, and then game 3 he opened the nuts, like Logia set 5, I think, maybe 4, something. He just drew the nuts and I couldn't get past it. So round 7 I played a samurai guy. He was really cool. He wanted to leave, so we were just like playing really fast, and then I got it, and then we just walked. So it was cool, and I got a little more sleep because of that, thank goodness, because we were both playing really fast. He said like, I want to get out, and I was just like, yeah, same. So we just played really fast and finished. Round 8 I played really good guy, Matthew Bishop. He's really good. He topped Nats last year, I think. And game 1 he beat me. Game 2 I got him, and game 3 I made a really good play. I spaced 2 of his back rows. I hit a Solemn Warning and maybe a Torrential. It was another power trap. I don't think it was Torrential. Something good. And he was at 6,000, I was at 8,000. He had a Sabersaurus on the field with 1 back row, no cards in hand. I had a Fiendish Chain and a Solemn Warning set with a Tour Guide, right? So I go Tour Guide into Tsang, and now I'm trying to overlay, but I'm trying to think. I'm like, what does he have back there? And to me, I read Lance. I was like, he has a Lance. Okay? So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to make a Zen mains. And I go into Zen mains and attack. Because if I made a Leviathan, what would happen? I'd remove a material. He's at 25. I get Lance. I'm at 17. He's at 19. I take 200. Next turn, he attacks me with Sabersaurus, and I lose 19. So I'd be at 59, and he'd be at 6,000. And that would be bad. And then I'd still have my warning to activate. So I was just like, whatever, I'm just going to make a Zen mains. And then Zen mains did the work. That was just really cool. And I read it right, and he just looked at me like, sort of in disgust. Like, how'd you know that was a Lance? Sort of. He didn't say that, but yeah, we talked about it after the duel. He was like, yeah, that was a good play you made, because I had a Lance set. And I was like, yeah, I was pretty sure you did. So that basically won me the game, because in the end, I just, he couldn't get past his Zen mains, and I just overpowered him. Round 8. I played round 9, excuse me. That rabbit was round 8. Round 9 I played a wind up, and I did lose game 3. He had really good hands, so he got me. Round 10 I played Hero. So I'm X2 right now at round 9 with 3 rounds to go. And I was just like, alright. Round 10 I played a Hero. I think I beat him game 1. This was like the one match of day 2 that I actually won game 1. And it's not because, I have to explain this. I only lost game 1 on day 2, not because the deck wasn't powerful enough. It was just really by luck. Like, I just wasn't drawing good hands. As you can see, like, it was evidenced by my top 8 match. Like, I just really didn't draw that well game 1. Even though the deck is good, don't take it to heart when I say I lost game 1 a lot day 2. Don't take that to mean my deck wasn't doing as well as it wasn't doing as well as it should, but don't take it to heart to mean that it wasn't a good deck. Anyway, round 9 I played Heroes. I beat him game 1, and he told me and game 2 I wind up loop him and beat him, and he tells me straight up after I beat him, he's like, dude, you got me. And I was just like, what do you mean? And he's like, I fell for that so bad. Like, he showed me, he sided out 2 Maxis, both his Maxis and both his Veilers, and he's like, I didn't even touch my DD Crows in my side deck. And I sort of laughed, and I was just like, that's really good to hear. I really like that, because that's exactly what I expect. I want that to happen. And so when he told me that, I was really glad that he told me. I appreciated that comment. Because it was for him a humbling thing, and he really wanted to tell me, like, that was great, like good idea, good work. And I was just like, thanks a lot. Round 10 I played Inzektors. Michael Horton, I know him from SoCal, I think. But he was a cool guy. He's a real cool. He got a zombie master on his arm and things like that, tattooed in there, so that was pretty cool. So he beat me game 1 with inzektors. Game 2 I did loop him, and then game 3 I just kept I drew a lot of outs a lot of the time, one to whatever he had. So that was good. And then in round 12, last round, I played this guy from Mexico, and he's running Dino Rabbit. He beats me again game 1 just by like a hair. Like I had him, and then all of a sudden he top decks a rabbit, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that sucks. And then yeah, that's what happened. In game 2, I was just like, oh my god, I got this. Like I know I can do this. Game 2, I get him. And then game 3, we play. I remember this match so vividly because I just remember really vividly. He goes, we both don't really draw that many monsters. In the beginning, I think we both draw like 1 monster, and they both get warninged away. So, my monster got warning. I don't know what happened to his. I think I torrentialed his monsters. So I was at he was at 8,000 at one point, and what happened was I had factory in my hand for the longest time, and I finally drew a windup, and I was just like, okay, activate factory. Now this was a debatable point because he activates Solemn Judgment. And I'm thinking, like, if he activated Solemn Judgment on that, that must mean he has no defensive back rows to get rid of my monsters, right? Because the reason why... So if you don't have any defensive back rows, it's true that you might Solemn Judgment that factory. Because if I summon a monster, right, and have factory out, so if you leave the factory and I summon a monster and you Solemn the monster, if I draw another one, you're done. But at least you can take care of 1 monster at a time. So he saw Judgment of the Factory, and I thought, okay, he must have a lot of monster destruction set because he hasn't been doing anything. So I summon Shark and attack. So I take it. So he's at 25. Next turn he flips over a Smashing Ground, and I knew that. I sort of thought that. And then he sets another back row go. And I draw a Wind Up Magician. And then I'm about to set it, and I'm just like, who cares? Summon Magician, attack for 600. He's like, take it. He's at 19. I'm at, I don't remember exactly. Then he flips another Smashing Ground next turn and sets another card. And then I'm just like, I knew it. Like, so now I draw a Max C. And I look at it, I'm like, I have a land set, doesn't matter. Summon Max C, attack. And he's like, take it. He's at 14. And I ended up attacking him with Max C 3 times. He's at 400. And somehow I get to 1,000 life points. I don't really remember how, but I get to 1,000 life points. And now, this is where it gets really interesting. It's luck. This is very lucky for me. So what happens is I have a torrential, MST, and a Forbidden Land set with a maxing defense position and a wind-up rat in face down set with no targets in graveyard. He has a face down monster and three back rows. One was set for a long time. I thought it was Solemn Warning. He has another 2 card set, and he top decks Monster Reborn. I'm thinking, crap. So he activates Monster Reborn, targeting Thunder King. And I'm looking at myself like, if he has a Starlight Road or a Forbidden Lance, I will lose. Because I have to torrential. I don't have to torrential, but I'm going to most likely torrential. Okay? So I blind space his Forbidden Lance. And I hit it. And he looks at it, he's like, oh my gosh. He's like, I don't know. And he's like, alright, activate his own Space Typhoon, hits my torrential. And I look, I'm like, oh, that's not good. I'm like, alright. So he hits it. We both destroy. I destroy his lance, he destroys my torrential, and Thunder King hits the field. He now has 1 back row and a face-up Fiendish Chain. I think I have a face-up Fiendish Chain and a Forbidden Lance set. He attacks my wind-up rat. And now he passes. And I look and I'm like, okay, he's at 400 life points. How do I hit him for 400 life points? And my savior, Wind-Up Shark. Oh my gosh. I drew it, I looked at it, I was like, I know that's a warning. Like, in my head, I was like, there's no doubt now that it's a warning. So I'm like, Wind-Up Shark has how much attack? 1,500. I did it on my calculator 3 times. I was like, 1,500. How much attack does Thunder King have? 1,900. He has no cards in hand, and he has that face down Solemn Warning. And I was just like, go for game. Summon. And he's like, okay. Summon Shark. I'm like, okay. Attack. And before I even flip the lance, he's like extending his hand. He knows it's a lance. And I damage step lance his Thunder King for exact 400 for game. 400 exact. And I was just shaking. I couldn't, like, my hands were like, I couldn't shake his hand. I stuck out my hand to try to shake his hand, but I couldn't close my fingers together. Like, I was just shaking, like, almost uncontrollably. And he sort of chuckled at that, but he, like, congratulated me. And then that was my That's how I got in. Then I played Top 64. Top 64. You guys can read my feature match in the on the Konami blog. Top 64 was a fun match. He was a cool guy. He was really cool. He was from Vancouver. He was playing Malefics, and first turn I just got lucky and I beat him. Game 2 he crushed me. Deck Devi like crushed me, and then game 3 I just happened to get him. I flipped the Snowman Eater to bait out his Veiler because he drew a card and then attacked my Tyrus and passed. So I had a field of Snowman Eater and Magician in defense. I was just like, and I had a Wind-Up Rabbit in my hand. I was like, oh man, that's a Veiler. I need to bait that out somehow. And I drew MST, and I was like, oh, that is perfect. That is a perfect card I need. So I was like, I need to bait out this Veiler, because if it is Veiler, I need to get rid of it. So I was just like, flip Snowman Eater, target Malefic Cyberman, and he Veilers it. And I was like, yes! Like he had to. Granted, I'm not saying it was a bad play, but I just like was like, oh, thank goodness it was what I thought it was. And then I spaced his Necro Valley, which destroys Cyberman. Now he has nothing on the field, no cards in hand. I summon Wind-Up Rabbit, make a Zen Mighty, my second rat into another Zen Mighty, and my third rat into a Acid Golem, turn Magician to attack position, 6600 for game. Oh, that was amazing. I was like, oh my gosh. And then top 32 was a good match too. In sectors, I lost game 1. Game 2, I beat him. Game 3 was crazy. Like, he ended up dark holding. I looped him at the end, but he ended up dark holding my field and summoning Hornet, activating its effect to equip Gigamantis from the graveyard, attacking me. I'm at 1900. He is at 2900, and I have nothing. I have a Fiendish Chain face up, and that's it. And so does he. And I was like, oh my god, I need to top deck something. And then I draw Effect Veiler, and I'm like, crap. And I'm about to set that away. I was like, wait, no, I'm not gonna set that. What the? I was like, go. I was like, and he goes, draw attack for game. And I'm like, before we enter battle phase, I'm gonna Veiler his Hornet. And he's just like, shit, because Gigamantis falls off. So he's just like, because it was equipped by Hornet's effect. So he's just like, shit. And he was debating sort of like, should I attack? Fuck it, I'll attack. He's like, attack. Alright, I'll take it. So I'm at 14, he's at 29. He sets a back row. And I read it, and I'm like, that's an MST. Oh my gosh, like, that's a bluff. Or I thought it was a bluff. I was like, it doesn't matter. And I draw, and I look at it. Oh my gosh. Tour Guide. Summon Tour Guide. And I go, effect. He's like, okay, can't do anything. I was like, yes. And then, Tour Guide into Tour Guide. Now, he's at 2900. I was like, if I make Acid Golem, that's only 26. And I have a Wind-Up Rabbit removed because he DD crowed. So I was like, if I make a Levier into Wind-Up Rabbit, how much is that? 27. I was like, crap, I need 200 more. 200 more? I was like, what's 200 more than Rabbit? And I looked, I was like, oh my gosh. He turn 1 allured a Centipede away. I was like, Levier plus Centipede is 34 minus Hornet is 29. Oh my god. I did it in my head, I did it on paper, I did it on a calculator, I did it like 5 times. I was like, that's game. Tour Guide into Levier into Centipede, attack, attack. And he looked at his calculator and he did it to same like 5 times. He was like making sure the numbers are right, and he was just like, unbelievable. He couldn't believe it. He was just like, he couldn't say anything. He was like disgusted. But I mean, I would be too if I top deck like that. So I won that match. Top 16, I played Dinos. Game 1, he beat me again. I just keep losing game 1. That was bad. I mean, not like the deck was bad, but game 2, I beat him. Game 3, he makes a Zen Mains and sets a back row. So I end up spacing his back row and then looping him for 3 cards. But the bad thing about it was he made a Zen Mains, which is really smart because I couldn't get past it. I made a Utopia instead of making a Leviathan. I just made a Zen Mains and I set Torrential. And I don't slow play, but we played into time because we were both sort of stalling because I couldn't get past the Zen Mains, he couldn't get past my Zen Mains. And in the end, I beat him by 400 life points. So, I mean, I don't really like winning like that, but it just so happened that we were both like, that's what happened, and I beat him. Then top 8, I played Joe, and it just sucked. I wish I put up more of a fight, but he was really nice about it. He said like, dude, honestly, like, your deck, you must be doing something right, because he was like, I know you didn't draw well, but you must be doing something right, otherwise how'd you get here, you know what I mean? I was just like, oh, thanks. Like, that was really good. That was really nice of him. I really like that, like, encouragement, because he knew, like, he just got lucky that I didn't draw anything to fight against him. Otherwise, like, I would have put up way better a fight at least. But he knew, like, there's got to be a reason you're here, you know? You didn't just fluke your way to here. And I was just like, yeah, that makes sense. I was like, thanks, and then I just wish him luck. But he did end up losing to the winner, which is fine. I just can't really say anything bad about that. The whole day was just draining. Like, I didn't trade at all on Sunday, and it was just really cool. It was a really cool experience. I got a Blood Mephis that I didn't even know I was gonna get. And oh, guys, big shout out to Joseph Zeng. You guys, like, everyone doesn't really know who he is, but come on, guys, like, he's my really good friend. We went down to NorCal, from NorCal together, and like, he's a really good player. He was running inzektors, and we were the last of our deck to make it. I was the last wind up, he was the last inzektor, so big props to him. Everyone's giving me love, but I gotta give love to him too, because he deserves it. He top 8'd too with inzektors. He lost to the champion in top 8, so I gotta give him mad props. And yeah, wow, that was a 20-minute video, but hope you guys, if you guys needed to take a break, I'm sorry about that, but it was just a lot of stuff to talk about. In my next video, I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to break down the YCS, and I'm going to have a little more statistical stuff, but I really think it's really necessary to look at. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for all your support. If you guys are interested in those Legendary Collection and Order of Chaos complete packages, just let me know. Complete sets, there you go. Alright, thanks guys. 3zinferno signing out.